let's take a look at some problems with the difference of two squares. Let's say we have x squared minus 25. Well, if we want to ask ourselves what squared gives us 25? 5, right? So this would be like x squared minus 5 squared, right? So the 5 squared, that's like the y squared, right? So we put our x's in, our signs for the difference of two squares are going to be plus and a minus, and then we look at the base. We put 5 and 5. Okay, and that's our difference of two squares. So if we checked it, we would get x squared minus 25. Okay, so far so good there. All right, well, let's try this. Let's try 9a squared minus 16. And you want to ask yourself, first of all, you want to see, can I factor out a common factor? Well, we can't, right? All right, so let's see. What squared gives us 9? Ask, what squared gives us 9? Well, what squared gives us 9? 3, right? 3 squared. So this would be 3 squared, a squared, minus, and then ask what squared gives us 16?
4.
Yeah, 4 squared. So with that, we can take all our bases and put them in. So now all we do is we take 3a minus 4 and 3a plus 4. So all we're doing is we're taking just the bases for each one of the exponential expressions, and we put them into our difference of two squares. Okay? Questions with that? All right. What about this? Y squared plus 1, no, I don't want to use 100. Y squared plus 25. What's that?
Prime.
Prime, right, because it's the sum of two squares we cannot factor, so that's prime. That's our answer. Good. Questions with that? Alright, that was easy enough, but it can be difficult as far as trying to remember that. Okay, we know that x squared parentheses squared is x to what power? 4. X to the 4th. So if we have x to the 4th minus, let's say 25. Okay? Well, we can go backwards. We can say, all right, this is like saying x squared parentheses squared here minus 5 squared. And then what we do is we take the bases of each one. And we know that since x squared is x and x, right, we can't put x and x here. What are we going to put in here now? Because then x and x is x squared. So it can't be just x and x, right? It has to be what?
X squared.
X squared and x squared, right? squared plus 5. Okay? And we can't factor that, and we're done. Okay? Questions with that? Alright, well, what if we have this? What if we have x to the 4th, let me use a different, x to the 4th minus 81. Alright, try that. Okay, what are the factors? Can be x squared minus what? 9. And x squared plus 9. Are we done? Or do we have another difference? What? Yeah, we have another difference of 2 squares here, right? So we can factor that again. Alright? So, can we factor the x squared plus 9?
No.
We can't, right? Because that's the sum of 2 squares, right? So we just bring the x squared plus 9 down and just leave it alone. And we can't do any more of that. But we can factor the x squared minus 9, and that gives us what? X
Plus 3x minus 3.
Good. X plus 3 and x minus 3. Because 3 squared gives us 9, right?